Today is my last day of college, my last day of classes before I graduate, and it's all starting to feel very real. So I thought I would do my skincare and yap while I get ready for today. Pulling out makeup. I'm gonna clip back my things. So today I have two classes. I don't remember if I already said that. I have my Roman archaeology class and I have my Greek and Roman epic class. And the second one I have a test in. We just finished reading the Aeneid, which I won't lie, I did not love. I'm sorry, I just didn't. We read the Iliad and the Odyssey at the beginning of the term, in the middle of the term, and we're finishing out the Aeneid. So I'm a little concerned for this test because I just did not really absorb it that well, and I didn't think the story was that interesting, but I think that's mostly just because I like the Greeks more than the Romans, and they don't interest me, they don't fascinate me like the Greeks do, and that's okay. I think Homer is just kind of unmatched on that level, but I have a test in that class today is my point. But my first class is my Roman archaeology class, which again, I like the Greeks more than the Romans, but this class has been so fun and interesting, and I feel like I've learned a lot, even though it's really, I just dripped foundation on my pajama pants, whatever. I feel like I've learned so much just kind of about the Romans generally. Like I've never had a great grasp on their history politically for the most part. It's just been so fun to learn about these things and these monuments, and I did a project. We were assigned to do like a tour brochure as our final project, and basically you plan out a tour with 5 monuments, and it has to be kind of a specific topic. It couldn't just be something really general like the temples of Rome or the basilicas of Rome, you know. It had to be a very specific topic, and he was pretty strict about that and was checking in with everyone to make sure that our topics worked. This is moisturizer, by the way. So I ended up doing mine on something called the Cult of Mithras, which I'm honestly considering doing like a full talking video about this cult because it is so interesting to me. It was basically a Roman cult that worshipped this god called Mithras, who somehow made his way to Rome from Persia. Not literally, like the religion itself. The belief in this god was something that started in Persia and kind of landed in Rome at some point. So the Romans kind of created their own interpretation of this. And it was so fun to do my project on, and I did really, really well on it. And I think he just liked my topic. My teacher, I think he just liked it low-key, but and I know I was the only one that did that topic because he told me. All that to say, I just had a really fun time in this class, even though the quizzes and the tests have really challenged me because I'm generally not a great test taker, but I've done better as the term has progressed. And I think it's just because like at the beginning when you're learning a completely new subject, everything is new, you know, but once you get more and more into the term, you have more of a background to fall on when you're taking tests and quizzes. So that's my one final next week is for this archaeology class, and I'm taking 3 online classes as well. One of them is Mediterranean art history, and the other is like scientific composition and writing, which is not been my favorite, but like it's interesting, and I think it's a good skill to have. So I'm glad that I took it. And then also a 1-credit yoga class because I needed 1 last credit to finish up and graduate before I was done. So anyways, so yeah, my plan for the day, Roman archaeology, and then I'm gonna go visit my old Latin teacher on campus and yap with her for a few minutes. And then after that, I have my test, and after that, I get to go home. And I'm done for the day, and it's just, I just can't believe it's over. I do see myself going back to school someday though. I just don't really feel like I'm done with learning. Generally, I feel ready to graduate and be done with school for a while, like just be done with the stress of assignments, and I've just had so much regular work to do, like work. And I feel like I've fallen behind on my projects and things, and I really love my job, so I hate when I'm not able to devote the proper time and commitment to it that I should be. So I'm looking forward to the summer when I have a little more time to do so. But anyways, that's the day I have ahead of me. I'm gonna finish doing my makeup and getting ready, and then I'm gonna head out. But I don't want to yap this entire video, but I'm not even sure how much I'm gonna film on campus because I get kind of shy in public, but we'll see what I have time for. Okay, see you later. I am sitting in the cutest little grove area on campus that I actually haven't been to before, but I just met up with my old Latin teacher who I had last year for 2 terms, and she's just amazing. And her class, even though I wasn't very good at Latin, that class just generally left a really big impression on me and kind of reintroduced me to a love for language and a love for classics that I hadn't really realized a ton about yet. And we've been trying to find a time to meet up for like 2 or 3 weeks now, and we finally found time today, and I'm kind of glad. So it was my last day, and we were just talking about college and post-grad and all of these things, and kind of the worries and the stress. And you know, she's lived a lot of life. She's from Italy, so I don't know, it was just really refreshing, and I look up to her a lot, especially since there's a lot of older people that I look up to, but she just holds a really special place in my heart. And her husband is a teacher as well on campus, and I was able to take a class with him, and it was amazing. So those two they mean a lot to me. Anyways, not to ramble, but I have my next class in about 50 minutes or so. So I'm going to hang out here, do some reviews for my Aeneid test. But I'm kind of right by the music building, and I can hear them practicing, and I just haven't been over here before, and I'm kind of mad at myself for not having wandered this far, because it's so cute and really quiet, which I love. I love the kind of cozier, quiet, grovey places on campus, and there's just not many of them that aren't super populated, especially on a beautiful, bright, sunny day like this. But I'm just having a really good day, and I'm so glad that I've had the opportunity to learn, to be on campus, to have an education at all, and get to meet these people that have made such an impact on my life. And I was also talking to my teacher about how I wish I had discovered my love for classics sooner, and how I've been kind of not really fighting with myself about it, but feeling torn between the music industry, which if you've watched any of my other videos, you know I do music business, music marketing, kind of work in that side of things, but I really have a deep love for the classics, and just generally for learning, for being educated, for being on a college campus, and I just don't feel like I'm done learning yet. And I don't know where I'm going to end up. And that's okay. I'm taking it really slow. I'm trying to be open-minded, be open to any opportunities. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just feeling very calm, peaceful, serene here in this little grovey area. I'll show you my view here in a second, but yeah, I'm just having a really good day. So it's been a good last day of college so far.
She stayed within the deep end of Wallowa Lake. The undertow refrained with the flame of a feathered snake, Charybdis in its shallow grave.